Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how I baked some fish roll. So sit back, relax and enjoy, and I hope you try this recipe because it is the bomb. The ingredients I'm going to be using for this recipe is 2 cups of flour, some onions, evaporated milk. I'm going to be using some spring onions, some sugar, some baking powder, salt, pepper, nutmeg powder. I'm going to be using some canola oil, some mackerel fish. Some people call it Titus fish, already parboiled and deboned, some salted butter, white pepper. I'm also going to be using 2 eggs. If you don't have white pepper, you can use any type of pepper you have. And so that's it. Let's get into business. First of all, heat up the palm oil. Fry some onions. We fry this for about 3 to 5 minutes. Add the seasoning powder. I'm not going to be using too much seasoning powder because I already seasoned the fish. Add the garlic powder, add the white pepper, stir this properly. Now it's time to add the fish. I already taken out the bones from the fish. You can either use a spoon to mash the fish, or if you have a masher, you can use this to mash the fish. We're going to be mashing it until it is properly scattered. Add the spring onions. The spring onions just pretty much gives it an extra flavor, and stir fry this for another 3 minutes and set it aside. Next thing you need to do is add the 2 cups of flour into a bowl. Add the sugar and the baking powder. Add the nutmeg powder. Now it's time to add the salt. You won't be using too much salt because you'll be using salted butter. Combine this properly and set it aside. You might not need to set it aside because you'll be adding the butter next. So I used 250 grams of butter for this recipe, but I discovered that it was too much, so please use just 200 grams of butter for this recipe. I'm going to be listing out the entire ingredient details in the description box so you can follow it closely. So you're just going to mix this until you get that, how breadcrumbs is, you get that breadcrumbs feeling. You're going to mix it properly until as you can see. Then you add 2 eggs and continue to combine this until it forms a dough. The next thing you're going to be adding while mixing this is some milk. Now you're not going to add the milk at once. You add it in little quantity. Add small, mix until you get your desired dough. The dough has to be semi-thick. So I added 2 drops of milk at 2 different times until I got the amount of or the quantity of dough I wanted. You continue to mix this properly. I then transferred it to a flat surface and layered with some flour and kneaded this for 5 minutes. It shouldn't be more than 5 minutes. You wouldn't want your dough to be too hard when it is baked. So my dough is ready. I set this aside for about 3 minutes. Then I decided to start cutting into shapes. So you need to cut into smaller quantities. You knead again for another 2 minutes before you move to the next process. So you need to flatten this. You need to flatten it until you get a very, very flat shape. Now add the mackerel fish we already cooked earlier. Add it to the other end of the dough, flat dough, and you're going to roll this over to the other end. You can either seal normally or seal it up with an egg wash. The egg wash is a mixture of milk and water, or milk and egg, or egg and water. I have an egg wash recipe on my Instagram channel. If you want it, you can go there to check it out. So I used an egg wash to seal the other end, and I cut out the first end because it's quite shapeless. Then I cut out into small pieces. If you want the longer pieces, you can just make it flatter so that you can get the longer piece. So you just pretty much do this for every other dough that is left. Cut into whatever shape you want, either longer or shorter. I wanted shorter because we are plenty in my house. So this is what it looks like before entering the oven. I'm just going to wash the top of each dough with an egg wash, and in some of it I added some sesame seeds. You can do without it also, it's not compulsory. You need to bake it rather, for 20 minutes in 200 degrees, and here you have it, guys. I mistakenly deleted the video where I was showing you when I opened it, but this is what it looks like when it's done. It was super yummy. Everybody loved it. I hope you're going to try out this recipe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button for more recipes. Thank you for watching. Bye.